Here we have a scatter plot which demonstrating the nearest center rule in action, and we plotted several points and cluster centers, and then we use lines to connect each point in its nearest cluster center, which visually indicating which cluster and each point belong to according to the nearest center rule. These points are colored differently based on which cluster they belong to according to the nearest center rule. So each point is connected to its nearest cluster center by the dashed line, and each point is assigned to the nearest center as is determined by the minimum Euclidean distance from the point to each of the center. So this is visually represented by the shortest dashed line which connecting a point to the center. Let's talk about the nearest center rule we used in k-means clustering. So this rule states that the pointer x belongs to the cluster S of L if the distance from x to the center of S of L, which is denoted as C of L, which is the center, right, is the minimum compared to the distance from x to any other cluster centers. Let's conclude about nearest center rule, which is about a point is assigned to a cluster S of L only if the Euclidean distance between x and C of L is the minimum among all the Euclidean distances between x and C of j. Well, for j is equals 1, 2, 3, 3, and until k. So this setup visually illustrates how each point finds is the closest center, thereby forming a clusters based on proximity. So this kind of visualization can help us in understand to how different initial placements of the centers can affect the clustering outcomes, especially in real-world data sets where clusters may be not as clearly distinguishable as we think.